His Excellency Dr. Carlos Lapis, His Excellency Rajendra Pachauri, distinguished scientists, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure and indeed to welcome you all to this session of the fourth lead authors meeting of working group of the Intergovernmental Panel on the Climate Change. On behalf of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia and myself, I would like to extend a special welcome to our international guests, especially as it is the first time for some of them to come to Addis Ababa. It is my sincere hope that we shall be seeing more of you in the future when you will be coming perhaps for various missions. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I must tell you that when we were first informed of the request to host this meeting by the African Climate Policy Center, we were confirmed our willingness and ability to provide all necessary support from its outset to the end of this meeting. We felt that the government of Ethiopia has long-standing cooperation with international organizations and also has remarkably been involved in this process of United Nations framework on climate change and the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change at all levels. In view of this, I would like to recall you that our late Prime Minister, Mallas Zenawi, had played unforgettable roles as the lead negotiator of African continent on climate change in every stage of regional and international climate change conferences. It is therefore my government's commitment from this outset to invite our esteemed guests and co-host this meeting with United Nations ECA ACPC. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the government of Ethiopia has had adequate lessons in relation to the impact of climate extremes. Low rainfall amounts during the main rainy seasons attributed for poor yield production and the scarcity of water for drinking, irrigation, and hydropower generation. In contrast, high rainfall amounts during the main and the dry seasons always trigger flooding, disturb harvesting season, and induce waterborne diseases. While we are aware of the potential impact of climate-driven hazards, it is also true that unless these hazards are well realized with a reasonable lead time, the consequences will further prolong and hinder our development plans. It is therefore for this reason that we acknowledge the use and the benefit of climate change-based early warning systems such as inter-seasonal, inter-decadal, as well as century-long climate prediction and the projections that enable us to mitigate the severity of climate-driven hazards at local and national levels. In this regard, I can say that this meeting on mitigation of climate change by itself will add values on the government initiatives, which are in fact instituted through the strong strategic plans, policies, and practices in Ethiopia. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Ethiopia has developed and in fact currently started to execute a lot of local, regional, national development plans that are mostly climate resilient. Our government's 5-year growth and transformation plan and the climate resilient green economy, which stipulates to build zero carbon emission economy by 2025, clearly underpin climate change and the related issues into consideration. As the name implies, CRG fully builds the country's economy as green and climate change resilient. On this basis the government has widely undertake multi-purpose water dams along the major river catchments of the country, hydropower generation, solar and wind turbines, which are among the top recommended sources of renewable energy, are widely considered as the main source of energy in Ethiopia. The government also considers the importance of community-based afforestation and the valley development program for swift environmental protection and ultimately for soil conservation as one of the climate change mitigation strategies that is currently implementing in Ethiopia. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to take this opportunity to confirm the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, the Government of Ethiopia's commitment to implement the agreement reached by the conferences of parties in line with the provision of IPCC's climate change monitoring and adaptation. This IPCC has to put trust on us in this respect. Finally, I wish to urge all participants of this meeting, I know it will be a closed meeting, to act responsibly as per the IPCC working group procedure and the guideline toward ensuring the effective consideration of all possible mitigation strategies that will accommodate the interests of all nations. Furthermore, I have full confidence that the end of this meeting you will come up with final IPCC's assessment report number 5 on mitigation of climate change, which is going to be used as a working document for members of parties after it will be endorsed by the governing body of IPCC. The government of Ethiopia is therefore keen to welcome your report. Ethiopia is the right place to organize this meeting because it is the country that puts climate agenda as a top priority of the government and formulates development strategies. Once again, I am assuring you that the government of Ethiopia and the people will continue to support for an international agreement on climate change negotiations. With these remarks, ladies and gentlemen, it is now gives me great honor and a privilege to declare the fourth lead authors meeting of Working Group 3 of the International Panel on Climate Change is officially open. I wish you all fruitful and successful deliberations in your meeting and enjoy your stay in this beautiful and peaceful city of Addis Ababa. I thank you very much.